Okay. I would like to move the motion.
Okay, is there a second to move the motion on Article 15? Yes. Mark, thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming today, and I appreciate you giving me the time to speak. I know I don't really know anybody in here unless I happen to knock on your door, and I do appreciate you not shooting me. I went to several houses and didn't get shot, so that's nice. I really just want to ask your support to discuss this issue and have the selectmen bring it to the IRS. Now, I understand there's some concerns. There was a select board meeting where they discussed the article being passed. The warrant article being put on, the petition passing. And there was discussion about the whole town being audited and all hell breaking loose, essentially, from the IRS. Now, I'll have you know that I am already on federal probation for helping out a couple for their tax evasion crimes, allegedly. So if there's anyone that's going to go down, it will be me. They need no reason to lock me up again, as I bet you guys have been briefed. The Northfield Police, thank you. Okay, but they've actually been really good with me, so I can't complain. Now, if there must be someone that goes down, I will take the hit. Not because I'm some amazing person, but this is important. There's a lot of things that are happening with our federal money that we don't agree with. I mean, in this room alone, we have 56, the vote was what, 56? Let's say 65 people in this room. Out of a town of 3,700 registered voters, there's something wrong. You know what I mean? We got to really figure this out. You shouldn't have 60 people making decisions for a whole town. So my whole point being is that I'm going to bring back to the issue at hand. I understand. Thank you. So 10,000 pages. We don't have time to read this. I don't. The print is smaller than the Bible, and I actually did read the whole Bible when I was locked up, and I found it to be a good read. But the point being is we need more time to get involved in local government, and we can't do that when we spend 25% of our working hours at the minimum working for the federal government. We don't have the time to focus on local matters, and that's what this is all about. So if the selectmen, I know you guys are opposed to this, and I can understand why, but if you push this forward, I will take the lead. I will do all the legwork. So as much as that is entailing. So I appreciate it if you guys would vote for this. It's very important, and it benefits everyone in this room and everyone around the world too, which are funds are being used for various reasons. So thank you.
Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for the opportunity to speak. There are some big questions that are floating around out there. Big. This is only one of them. Big questions don't always have nice, neat, clean answers. I bet a lot of people that spend more time in the woods realize that a lot more than I. But we are in a world of laws, regulations, and dictates, and requirements. There is a complete blanket of confusion that has been laid on the citizens of this country to add confusion, add complexity. The complexity makes it easier to manage. Whenever I run across someone that's slightly confused these days, I ask them to ask themselves, who benefits by your confusion? This question is only one of many. It needs to be asked. It should be investigated, not because there's a definite answer or a definite good guy or a definite bad guy, but because you will become more informed of the status of your citizenship. It's important to be informed. There are two kinds of ignorance. There is willful ignorance and there is non-willful ignorance. If you don't know about something, you are ignorant, but it is not your fault. If you do not investigate information, you are willfully ignorant. And that is one of the questions revolving around this question. We should, I feel, submit such a question. And if we're fearful of our government, well, that just brings up another question. Thank you very much. Sure.
Once again, Mark Noble, this is not a question I want to ask the IRS. I don't know if there's anybody else wants to ask the IRS. However, we're asking our selectmen to ask the IRS this. This is to send a letter to the Internal Revenue Service asking these 3 questions. If Mr. Gerhard wants to answer those 3 questions, send a letter, Mr. Gerhard. We don't need the town to do it. Thank you.
Oh.
Hi, Nancy Porter. I'm looking at the first line of this, in which the warrant reads, we requested the Board of Selectmen requires the Internal Revenue Service to answer the following questions. I don't believe we have the power to require the IRS to do anything, and I think that this is the wrong forum for this discussion. I do agree that these are certainly important questions, but I don't think that the town of Northfield and our selectmen are the, I was going to say proper, but they're not the right venue to do it. You should be looking to federal people to answer these questions, because the town of Northfield doesn't have the power to require, and I don't think this is an appropriate use of our time in this meeting. Thank you.
I would just like to mention the selectmen are representatives of we the people. As we vote them in, we are giving them the authority in lieu of we the people to do things that we ourselves are not willing or wanting to do. I find it funny how the federal government, to understand the federal government can only do that for which we the people authorize them to do. It is we the people in control of the government, not the government in control of the people. Although this past year, many people have relinquished to those in government to be under their control. Is this then not a perfect time to discover, do we believe in our Declaration of Independence, where it states that we, the people, only on a temporary basis gives authority to an elected official to do certain things? And I find it funny that everybody seems to be so afraid to go to any of their elected officials, when if we as an individual try something, we're forced to either sit down and shut up or we're the terrorist. And on that note, this is a good start to remind all of us that the government is only as good as we, the people, allow them to be.
Thank you, John.
I love town meetings. I think these are great discussions to have. The only problem I have with this is the idea that, of the process, I think, more than anything else. I'd love to have the discussion. I'd love to sit here on a Tuesday night and talk about this. I'd actually like to have the civics classes at Winterswan come in and talk about this. I think that would be great. So this is a big question. I'm just concerned about the process. I don't think that there will be an answer if the selectmen send a letter to Washington. Because it's a petition warrant article, as I assume it is, Mr. Moderator, is it true that this can't be amended?
I believe it could be amended. I'm not sure exactly what the amendment would be.
So my idea is, if we amended this so that the selectmen asked either the representatives for the district to submit legislation mean I don't want to hear the answer, and I don't want to just deal with the old-timey way of standing up on a soapbox and asking for a question to be asked and answered. But it is a big question, and I'd like to go through the process to do it right. I just don't think this is the right process, so I'll be voting no on this, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Yes, moderator. I would agree with some of what Representative Elder said as far as being not in favor of the motion. But in addition to this not being the best process, I also, if you read it word for word, and selectmen had to follow it word for word, as in the article, I'm not sure we're going to get much benefit from it anyway, but I don't think that we're going to get much more answers. There's a reference. Number two, where in the code does it say that the average American? I bet there's not a reference to the average American. I read the code, but I bet there's. It needs to be more prescriptive if we're going to tell our selectmen to do something representing what the town feels or wants to know from the IRS. I am not in favor of this.
Sir. And would you identify yourself?
Let me say good afternoon, we're not quite there yet. My name is Paul Schnitzer. I can spell that for you. But I agree, I don't think it's the right way at all. I would ask the selectmen to go to my mortgage company or any other institution, of government or not, because I might have a disagreement with the interest rate I'm being charged on the loan or something like that. But I would also like to just bring to one point here, this is one of the thousands of pages of the Code of Federal Regulations, Title 26, which lays out the IRS code. And this is 1.1.1, income tax on individuals. General Rule 1, Section 1 of the code imposes an income tax on the income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. And to the extent provided by sections 871B or 877B on the income of non-resident alien individuals. Okay, that's one of the three questions that was asked. I think this is very clear language. I don't think we have to ask anybody what that means. I would encourage everybody else to just vote on this article. I also don't agree that it can be amended. I brought an article forward in the town I previously lived in, and we offered an amendment at a public hearing. And we were told, no, if you want to do an amendment, you're going to have to wait till next year, get all the signatures again. I don't know that there's an amendment possibility. The IRS podium, it's 26 CFR Code of Federal Regulations, and it's 1.1-1. Okay.
Call the question. Just going to request to call the question. That requires a 2/3 vote. Before I entertain that motion, who else who hasn't already spoken would like to speak? See none. Okay, so we've got a motion to call the question, which would terminate the debate. Is there a second? There is a second. Now, we're going to start out with a voice vote. If the moderator is in question, then we'll go to a recorded vote. All in favor of terminating, we're voting on terminating the debate, not on the article itself. All in favor of terminating the debate signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
The moderator is not in debt. Vote, discussion.
You're not going to allow the people that are in line, or?
So my point, if you recall, Representative, was, has anybody who hasn't already spoken would like to speak? And that typically is my rule. If people have already spoken,
And may I request a hand count?